Hello everybody, welcome back to West Elizabeth. It's been a while since I've done any videos on anything small in Red Dead Redemption 2, but there was something that I sort of missed. I briefly touched down on it in one of my 10 secrets videos, but I haven't exactly pondered over it to the extent that I usually would. And in today's video, I wanted to do exactly that. This one in particular is fairly easy to find, but also relatively easy to miss, and it comes complete with some unique items, which is always nice. There's not an awful lot to it, so it shouldn't be an especially long video, but please enjoy as we look into the murder at Beryl's Dream. Beryl's Dream can be located to the northwest of Strawberry, north of Oangila. It's effectively a land formation that comes complete with a mine. You're likely familiar with this mine because you can come here whilst on a bounty hunt, which begins at the town of Strawberry in the sheriff's office, where you can come across a poster for a wanted man named Joshua Brown, a former bounty hunter who killed people legally before. However, now he's wanted for a murder that was very much so illegal, or even several, as the poster puts it. The sheriff is vague with the details, just explains that Brown is a hard man to kill and he's wanted alive. His whereabouts at this point simply referred to as north of Strawberry. We get a marker that leads us more or less directly to the Beryl's Dream mine. We arrive at what appears to be a non-operational mine, however, from within, a light warms the entrance. It appears somebody's been camping here, and recently, taking advantage of the natural shelter of the entrance of a mineshaft. For most players, this is all you'll see and think about when it comes to Beryl's mine, because upon entering, we're immediately confronted by Joshua Brown.
Dead end. You got nowhere to go, bounty hunter.
We immediately have to duel him, shooting him in the arm so that we can take him in alive. Then we chase him down, tie him up, and then we've got 80 kilograms of wanted man that we quickly need to return to Strawberry. So most players will never come back here. We'll quickly turn him in because he's not the focus of this video, and this content will be damaged by me continuously chasing after him every time he escapes, as people tend to when you leave them tied up for long enough in this game. So let's quickly return to the mine at Beryl's Dream. So of course, in the entrance we have what I presume is Joshua Brown's camp, and then further down the shaft we have got a cave-in. It appears to be a dead end almost immediately. However, it appears as if once upon a time the tunnel did indeed go deeper. Returning to the campsite, there is something of interest here that makes things a little bit deeper. Pun fully intended, sod it. By one of the walls, atop a crate, is what appears to be a dynamite detonator. The plunger can be interacted with, and the end result is exactly what you'd expect. An explosion from deeper in the shaft suggests there should now be an opening for us to explore deeper into Beryl's Dream mine. It's a little snug, but sure enough, we can just about squeeze our way through. Once we've reached the other side of the mountain of debris, we find ourselves in a relatively straightforward, rounded room with nothing of any interest going on. However, there is a pathway that leads to a secondary chamber where we will make a gruesome discovery, though I suppose that's subjective depending on how much you like people. There is a dead body. These are the remains of what appears to be a miner. By his right hand is a gold nugget. Above his head is the unique miner's hat, and yes, you can wear it. And in his back is the wide blade knife. The implication of the presence of the knife is rather clear. He had a fall, a spicy one. He's also missing a shoe, so I do wonder what's happened there. But of course, this man appears to have been murdered. Considering the decomposition on his remains, I'd imagine he's been here for quite some time. He's missing his eyes and a good chunk of his nose. Interestingly, there are no signs of blood, even dried blood, on his white shirt, especially around the area where the knife was, which leads me to believe that maybe this was placed there after he'd been dead for some time. So maybe he was not chefed up after all. However, the discovery of a human corpse down here is certainly interesting nonetheless. And that's where the mine shaft ends. It's very small, it doesn't appear as if they've gone very far at all, and the entrance is caved in. What I'm saying is, it doesn't appear as if this mine was operating for very long before it was abandoned. It could be because of the cave-in. Clearly the earth was too unstable for a mine to be effective here. It could also have been caved in because somebody needed to hide a body. Foul play is likely, as I suspect this man's dying wish was not to be left in the mines. I presume in the event of an accident his remains would have been removed so work could continue and he could be buried. But whatever happened to this man shortly after the fact, or even before the entrance caved in? If it happened before, how did somebody stab him in the back? That's a pretty hard place to stab yourself. And then there's, why is this man dead? It wasn't for money because he's still in possession of a gold nugget. Maybe there was more. Gold is heavy, perhaps there was too much to carry, so a little bit had to be left behind. Maybe it was simply not noticed. It was a gold nugget, it's small enough, and the gold bars would have more value and be more noticeable if any were present. And that's the only reason why I can imagine this bloke having been killed. It's because somebody wanted what he'd found. So they killed him and took what he can see, missing the nugget because it's quite dark down here. And then they caved the place in to ensure that nobody would ever find the evil deed that was carried out down here. But that's a lot of information to extract from a guy who certainly did not die in his sleep. And that's all we know. The second question I have myself wondering about is, what's with the detonator? Why would somebody want to reopen the mine? Well, the camp we find here is the hideout of Joshua Brown, the bounty we apprehended here and brought into Strawberry. This plunger is very much so right next to his camp. It's a part of his camp. Why would he put it there? Why would he want to go deeper into the mine? Maybe to hide from the law? As the deeper it is, the less obvious it is, but you also can't really have a fire down a mine. Or maybe to retrieve something down there such as, I don't know, a gold nugget. Joshua Brown's a killer and has been for a long time. This man's been down here dead for quite some time as well. The only connection there is the detonator at Joshua Brown's camp at the entrance of the mine, connected to explosives that can blow a hole through the debris into the deeper mine where the dead body is. Moreover, he's wanted for murder and he's gotten away with killings in the past, meaning he's capable of doing it right. And on top of that, he's wanted in the state of West Elizabeth. A logical man would leave West Elizabeth, unless he had a reason for coming here first. However, the detonator is here before you do the Joshua Brown bounty hunt as well, so maybe it's unrelated. Sadly, there is no information whatsoever about Beryl's dream mine besides from the fact that it exists, and for some reason somebody rigged the debris to blow and then left it for somebody else to find and detonate, only to discover a little bit more mine and a deceased miner, with clear evidence of foul play via the means of a knife in his back. Why would somebody do that? Is someone deliberately trying to lead someone down there to make that discovery? Does somebody else know that's even there? And could that somehow be related to Joshua Brown using this spot as a hideout? He never mentions the explosives at his camp, nor does he mention a body deeper in the mine. He's a capable killer, and he's done his fair share of naughty killings alongside justified ones, but there are too many pieces of the puzzle missing for him to be an authentic suspect in that case, especially when meeting Joshua Brown in this mine is quite recent compared to that body which appears to have been there for months, if not years. Then of course we also don't know an awful lot about Joshua Brown either. The sheriff in Strawberry is noticeably loose on details when giving us the bounty, even when questioned. But you get the point. We will never know how this miner met his end, And we also won't know if Joshua Brown could have been involved in any way, because we don't have enough information. As interesting as it would be for there to be more to this story, there just isn't, so that brings us nicely to the end of today's video. Thank you all for watching this short one, even if it's just for my personal satisfaction at this point. I hope you've all enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends, all that wonderful stuff. That would be super fantastic. Maybe check out my History channel Decades via the link in the description, if history takes your fancy, that is, or if you enjoy my content. If the answer to either of those questions is no, then of course don't worry about it. It's just there. And with any luck, I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point. But until next time, please take care, and goodbye.